Kylian Mbappé now has 18 World Cup goals. Lionel Messi has 19 and only one goal separates them. Mbappé plays Paraguay next. The greatest individual rivalry in football history is being decided one goal at a time. Welcome back to FUT in Review World Cup Daily episode 30 with day 20 of the World Cup done. My name is John and I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by none other than James Tolando. James, welcome back, my friend.
Hello, John. Hello to the listeners and watchers. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone.
It's good to have you back, my friend. So 3 more round of 32 games yesterday. Haaland was anonymous for 85 more minutes and then won it in the 86th. Mbappé scored twice and is now 1 goal behind Messi's all-time World Cup record. And Mexico won a knockout game for the first time in 40 years in front of 80,000 fans at the Azteca. Let's get into all 3. James, let me first ask you, how are you surviving the World Cup currently?
I'm getting there, John. I'm surviving. I think I've only missed one odd late break night game. I think that was last week at some point. But apart from that, I'm doing okay, mate, to see them.
That's good.
In fact, I missed your match, actually, unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah, that's
right.
Do
you want to get a deep dive into that then? What happened there, James? Because I stayed up all night and we were chatting and suddenly you stopped responding. You got us worried there for a second. Well, what happened?
I'm just tired, John. Absolute tired, I had an alarm for it, but then I just snoozed that as well.
It happens. I wish I missed it as well, James.
I bet you do, mate.
Mbappé now at 18 goals. Do you think he'll break the record next match, James?
What, Messi's record?
Yeah.
There's every possible chance. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Shall we take a deep dive into the matches first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. The first match was Norway versus Ivory Coast. Well, I don't even know the nickname of Norway, but let's just call them Vikings for now, shall we? Against the Elephants. Norway were largely second best, actually, for most of this game. Nusa scored a brilliant curling effort against the run. Just before halftime, that was an amazing goal. And in the second half, Ivory Coast dominated. Diallo came off the bench, cleared of the line, and then they scored a stunning solo equalizer on the 75th minute. And it looked like extra time. Then the game's most marginal figure just stepped up. Haaland has 3 touches in the first half, barely existed, and then tapped home Berge's cross in the 86th minute to break Ivory Coast hard. Norway's first ever knockout win. Well, James, let's talk about Haaland first. He doesn't have to put any effort to just get a goal in, right? He just walks to a goal, hits it wrongly, and still goes in.
Yeah, definitely. He's very, very patient. He's not a man that wants to get touches or build up and play. He'll
or
just
defend,
stay constant.
By the way.
Or defend. Well, actually, for Man City, he does track him back under Pep, so that might change in the future. But yeah, he's some player. He's one of these players that when his concentration needs to be elite, then it's just elite, John. You know, like you touched on, you didn't really have many chances at all throughout the game. But what was it, the 86th minute? He just comes alive, taps it in, 2-1 Norway.
Yeah, hits it incorrectly as well, though, and even goes in. Right.
When your luck's in, John.
Apparently so. Well, my luck isn't in, so let's not talk about that. But Ivory Coast, I think they deserved more, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. I thought they were the more balanced team, to be honest. That might be the eyes deceiving us because Norway are playing Sorloth right wing. So any team playing that might be more balanced on paper. But they had wingers, Norway did. And also, not Norway had wingers, but they lacked. What Norway had, they lacked. Ivory Coast had Duamandi on the left, and they had Pepe on the right. And then, of course, Bonnie started again. I got that wrong last week, listeners. But he started again. But again, it was just a very timid performance by him. And then Diallo came on. He got the goal. He done well. Really, really good goal. I thought, to be brutally honest, throughout the whole game, I thought Ivory Coast was going to do it, John, and win. But unfortunately, Norway have got that Haaland.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say unfortunately because honest, I like both teams here, and I didn't have a favorite. If I had a favorite, it might be Norway, just because of Ingvi, one of our hosts, of course. But
yeah, of course.
But this were on paper two equal teams. I was more looking into, like, most of this team haven't played a match for 10 days now, and I was wondering how that would affect them. I honestly think, if you look at like the last goal, I think the goalkeeper, Nyland, also tipped the ball brilliantly in the 96th minute or something. I think Ivory Coast was a strong team. Loved some of the players. Yeah, you named the winger. I forgot his name. The left winger.
Yes, Diamande. I believe he's going to sign for PSG now, John.
What a player, mate. That's such a shame to see him go. But when you say you lock us in, they got the crowd going. They rowing ahead, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Norway had a poor performance at all, right? I just felt
not at all.
Like Ivory Coast was just a stronger team. Also, these guys are so strong, James. If they body check me, I'll die.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise.
It's amazing. But yeah, Haaland, just saying, he scored how many chances now?
I believe he's got 5 goals. Is that right, John?
Yeah, but he scored 5 World Cup goals now. So he's in the score in the Golden Boot race. But I think more impressive is in his last 13 competitive international matches, he scored 25 goals.
That's incredible. Incredible.
And this was his first World Cup, and scoring 3 times in your first 3 matches. Of course, he missed a lot, the third one. So 3 matches played, 5 goals, 3 goal in every single match. It's amazing. And Ødegaard is so often of Odegaard, depends how you want to say it. But I think officially pronounced as Ødegaard. He's the first player to record assist in 3 straight World Cup matches as well, since Dirk Kuyt did that in 2010 in the Netherlands.
Right, my God. Well, that's some stat.
Yeah. Norway will face Brazil. Quickly looking forward to that match. What do you think? Who do you reckon will go through?
Brazil for me, definitely.
Yeah, so normally I'd say I agree with you. But it's not like Norway is unlucky. And the Haaland factor can be the deciding factor. So guess we'll see. So inside the match, though, it will play Sunday, I think. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting match to watch. Game 2, James, in the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. It was France versus Sweden. Well, I'll try to summarize this one in 30 seconds. But France was comfortable, clinical, ruthless. Mbappe's goal rolled out for offside in the 20th minute before breaking the deadlock just before halftime. Dembélé, Olise combining to find the finish for him. Olise then tried a brilliant pass to the legs of Lagerbielke and set up Barcola for France second on the 53rd minute. Mbappé curled in the third one on 74th minute with Olise again as the provider. Also Olise with the overhead kick, which just barely missed. Amazing play. Sweden, barely got Gyökeres, Isaac or Langa involved. 1 chance from Gyökeres, I think. And that's about it. So France in the round of 16, Mbappé 18 World Cup goals, 1 behind Messi. I don't even know where to start. They hit the woodwork twice before they scored even. The overhead kick made Zetterstorm, the Swedish goalkeeper, making some incredible saves as well. But this France, James, I'm just going to say, is there anyone that's able to put up a fight against this team?
I hope Portugal for personal reasons. But other than that, really, their pace, their power, John, is frightening. And, you're talking about Mbappé, but not only has he got, X amount of goals this World Cup, he had 5 shots against Sweden, 4 on target. And he actually, if you look at that trend, he does that quite a lot. He gets a lot of shots in, but his accuracy is very, very good as well. So yeah, fantastic performance from him. Dembélé, Olise and Mbappé are just frightening.
Yeah, Barcola in the mix there as well.
Exactly, Barcola. And then also as well, Dewey as well, if you want to add into the mix as well. Yeah, exactly. So really terrific team. But they've also got they've got real strength behind them as well. And what I mean by that in terms of Coney in midfield and Kanati in the defence, it's a very, very solid team. I'd be very, very surprised at this stage of the tournament, John, that anyone lifts that trophy bar that isn't France, because I see them as very, very strong favourites now.
Yeah, I have to agree. I said prior to this World Cup, I think Portugal could surprise people. But this France team, this French team, I should say, they just go in on 80%, demolish half of the teams in the first half already. Then they tune it down. They probably get another goal in. You know what the difference is between this team and, say, the 2010 team? I think the biggest difference is that these players, they like each other. The 2010 team, there's a couple of French teams which were amazing players, but they exploded or imploded maybe even, the team itself. This time around, the champ is just normally from the defensive football. It's just, you guys at front, just enjoy, just push through. Mbappé passes to Olise, and Olise gives the ball back to Mbappé. Mbappé passes back to Dembélé. Barcola is, you want to score as well, Barcola, here's the ball, you try it. These four players, I mean, Olise might probably be the best midfielder in the world currently. Mbappé, anyone that's saying Mbappé can't finish, I don't know what they're watching, but it's insane. And then they have got the golden ball winner on right wing. You don't see that often, but once he gets the ball, it's dangerous as well. James, I don't think I've seen such an impressive team on a pitch since the old-style Barcelona team, if I'm honest.
Yeah, definitely. It's frightening, John. Internationally, for example, for watchers and listeners, you could possibly say World Cup 2002 Brazil, with that front three, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo and R9. So it's electric, this team, and I can just see them going strength to strength. And also, if we could add into the show, John, it was a real shame for the France manager having a bereavement in his family. So that was nice for him to come back and get a victory, and I hope they can do him good for the rest of the tournament, John.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotions going on in this tournament with Deschamps. His mom passed away. He went back to France for a funeral, came back yesterday, and that first goal from Mbappé, he just ran into his arms, hugging it out, and you saw Deschamps actually having trouble keeping his emotions in. The whole team gathered around that. Yeah, truly amazing stuff. You see this team is embracing each other. They're helping each other. And I don't know if they mentioned it yesterday that much, but you saw Gakpo's goal on the Tuesday from the Netherlands.
See that again?
You saw Gakpo's goal in the Netherlands, right?
Oh, Gakpo,
yeah. So when he scored, I mean, we didn't go into much detail, and it's not a topic to put too much attention to, but Gakpo lost his unborn child last week, and they put that on Instagram. The whole team was sort of shocked. And when he scored that goal, he realized he scored a goal at the World Championship, on the World Cup stage. You saw him go sit on his knees and just stare down, right? That was because of that. And you saw the whole team gathering around him, even the reserve players. And there was an emotional moment. You saw people in the crowd crying. You saw some of the commentators and press people actually in tears, right? But then I saw the referee turn around, walk into those reserve players. And he looked at that image and he just turned around, let them be for a moment. It's fine. There's a lot of humanity and a lot of things football unites, but that this tournament, we saw this with Deschamps, we saw it with Eriksen before the tournament. But you see, if football is like this, James, it's almost like the most beautiful thing in the world, ain't it?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt, John.
Back to business though. France is, I think they will just. I don't think there's a team that can beat them. Something weird has to happen to keep this going. I almost feel bad for all those Real Madrid fans this year complaining about Mbappé, because if he's in the flow, there's no stopping him, James.
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, definitely. The golden ball, I think, could be in the French hands.
Yeah, very, very likely. They now will play Paraguay in round 16 on Saturday, Philadelphia. What do you reckon?
Oh, there's only one result, John. Unless, like you say, something absolutely weird happens, it's France all the way.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit there. Yesterday, I got a message saying this is football porn, and they might be right there.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Time for a quick hydration break, because we are 30 episodes deep into this World Cup, and, well, we're not stopping now. If this show is getting you through the tournament, support us at buymeacoffee.com/food-and-review. You can spend $1, $2, $3, and we need coffee, so put it there. It's much appreciated. Of course, check out foodandreview.com for everything else and our newsletter, and check out our content and TikTok at Food and Review Podcast. And of course, at Food and Review on Instagram. Let's get back into the last match, James. It is Game 3 in a round of 32. It was at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. It was none other than Mexico versus Ecuador. Shall I do my best to do this one in 30 seconds as well?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So kickoff was delayed an hour by lightning. So for us, it was 4 a.m. None of that dampened the atmosphere, though. Quiñones, what a player, James. This is one. Please just check that out. He's been amazing every single game so far. He got inside and powered in the top corner in the 22 minute. Jimenez doubled it 9 minutes later with a crisp finish after give and go with Quiñones and a goalkeeper, error to be fair. 2-0 at halftime. Ecuador barely threatened in the second half. Then in stoppage time, Hinkepie was shown a red card because of VAR review for covering his mouth while having heated words with, of course, none other than Santiago Jimenez. Mexico with their first World Cup knockout game in 40 years. Same stadium, same scoreline as in 1986. Another hour delay, James. But what can we say about, Quiñones having a brilliant thing and Mexico just not slowing down anytime soon?
No, not at all. The home fans rode them on. There was some atmosphere before the game. So yeah, it was electric, some might say, pun intended. But also that player, he plays in the Saudi Pro League. I believe he's got some record over there, John. I think he played 30 games or something. He's got maybe 29 goals or something in the Saudi Pro League. So he's very, very good. He's 31 as well, though. Yeah. But I think he's been tremendous for Mexico. I think he's had like 10, 11 shots on target as well. He's a man that likes to score for distance as well. But I believe this World Cup, he certainly does. But I believe this World Cup so far, his goals have been inside the box. So I'm expecting hopefully a belter outside anytime soon. But yeah, Mexico, fair play to Mexico. Got the home victory. I believe if England win their next game, does Mexico play England in the next round, John? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I don't have to in front of me, but I think you are right. And it's actually,
at the Aztec?
Yeah.
I think I'm right on that, John.
Yeah, I'm looking at the notes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's either England or for Congo. Yes, you are correct. At that Estadio Azteca as well.
So
well done.
You could say maybe Mexico's got another round in them, shall we say?
Yeah, I think so. And if they would face England, which of course isn't said and done either, and they got a pretty good chance. Of course, England's very good, but this Mexico with those fans behind them in their own stadium in their own atmosphere wouldn't give you a little bit of a boost, eh?
Definitely, and the player that you highlighted, John, is a left winger, and England having so many problems at the moment right back.
Exactly.
So could be a mismatch.
Yeah, but there's one more match to England first has to beat Congo, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not a foregone conclusion, and for anyone that watched Congo versus Portugal, then they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a fighter team, right? Not only defensive, but they're fight for every single ball. They'll fight for the country, especially what that country's been through. Don't forget, Congo has been torn apart by not only civil wars, but also with the current Ebola virus spreading again.
Yeah.
This is their highlight. This is their bright spot. This is their moment where people look at Congo not only because of that terrible disease going around, and I think the players are fully aware what they can do for their country, and they toss in every single percentage of energy they've got. So, yes, of course, England will have better players. England will have a better team. But I don't know if they have a fighting spirit or these guys will give them all. If the goal doesn't fall too early, we'll have a proper football match like Netherlands-Morocco, for example, again, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about our daily topics, James. The baller, the bottler, and of course, the drama. The baller, there were so many people to check, to put here. Of course, we could say Haaland. We could have said Mbappé. But I wanted to highlight Olise. He didn't score, but he should have scored. He hasn't scored in this World Cup yet, though. But we talked about Vitinha being the best midfielder in the world. But I think Olise, with 2 assists again, and with that bicycle kid, this player is just... I don't even know if he's underrated, but I would almost say this is the best. Like, I would say currently it's the best midfielder in the world. What do you think?
Best forward, right wing, definitely. I would say Caravadonna has got something to add to that list, John. But Olise is a very, 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 very good player. There's no getting away from it though. He is elite, an elite player.
I think he's the engine of the French team. He gets the ball, it clicks. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's an underrated player at any stage, but I think we deserve to give him the... I want to talk about the bottle a little bit more in depth, though. Because at the end of the Mexico-Ecuador match, Piero Hincapié, he plays as Arsenal, doesn't he?
Yes.
He was looking to get sent off. He was butting heads with Jimenez. He was kicking around. He was pushing other players off. Do you think he just snapped and he just wanted to go out with a bang this World Cup? Because what happened is he was pushing Jimenez and some other. He was saying things to Jimenez, putting his head against Jimenez as well. I don't know if you saw that. But then he's like, I can't get sent away. And he covered his mouth while he said something else. And just Jimenez went to the referee. He's like, did you see that? I don't know what he always did. But this time he just put his hand for his mouth. VAR reviewed it, red card. He didn't, he smiled and walked away. Was he looking for a fight? Do you think something happened there? Did he broke?
I think that guy's always looking for a fight, John, if you watch Arsenal on a daily basis.
He plays
or
for
the
Leverkusen,
Premier League.
Sorry.
But he was, no, you're right. He's Arsenal. He got them on loan.
Of course.
Yeah. So he played with Arsenal that season there. So you're spot on. The left back, he can play centre back as well, but mostly left back. But he is a very, very fiery character, definitely. And I would argue that the way that he put his head up against someone was more than a sending off than just covering his mouth. I understand the rules though, obviously, but yeah, he was just looking for something, definitely. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't seriously get it. I do hope this guy's punished. Not only the problem is he'll get sent off for that hand in front of his mouth, and not for what he did prior to that. But I think he just snapped, and it's a bit. You're 2-0 down. There's no. It's over already, right? It's a bit too late to snap. Let's put it like this. He was just looking for a fight. I think it's a poor showing for a team that actually could have deserved better. Because it's not like they got drowned by Mexico either, right?
Yeah.
James, I was thinking about drama, but there's not been too much drama. I think what we said about Deschamps, I think that could be the drama of the day, drama of the week, maybe, with Cody Gakpo next to it. So I want to make the drama positive. I think the drama topic a little bit more positive. I think this tournament has shown stories behind the scenes, so to speak, that are heartbreaking, tear-inducing, but the way they are treated it is tremendous. But there is maybe one bit of drama which is doing my head in, and although it's not a favorite topic of me, I do think we have to discuss it for a minute or two, and that is online hate. The Dutch team got, of course, terminated by the penalties. All the Dutch players that missed the ball, they got so much racial abuse online that the KNVB, the Dutch Football Association, is actually, they put in some complaints and they want to be investigated by the police. James, of course, this is abysmal. It's low behavior, but what's going on with people doing this? I mean, football is emotion, but I don't think race has anything to do with you missing a penalty, or it has anything to do with anything at all. How can people do this? I can't understand it. And even 1 minute talk about it might be too much, but it's also too big of a topic to let go unscathed.
Yeah, definitely, John. To be brutally honest with you, I'll never understand it, why people do that. Any walk of life, or what you look like, or your skin colour, it never makes sense to me at all, to be brutally honest with you, John. And it's happened too many times with the England team, when they miss penalties, and that's happened to them, especially Rashford, for example. So it's disgusting, really, John. It's terrible. Definitely. Do you think the players are delighted that they missed the penalties? No, of course they're obviously heartbroken as well, and they're disappointed. But to to throw like a skin colour into the mix just for missing a penalty at the end of the day is the lowest of the low, really. It'll never make sense to me.
Nope. Enough said about the topic. We just don't approve of anything like that, and you should be ashamed if you're one of them doing those things. James, last bit of drama we'll talk about is, well, football managers or national team managers will get terminated, right? Koeman officially resigned last night as well. Fairly so, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely. Is that his third appointment with the Dutch, or is it second, or was he an assistant manager?
I was
one of them
before, I think, but he's been here on 6 years now. So
right,
yeah.
But it's been he was here previously, wasn't he? So it's like a second appointment, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. The thing is, he got compared this morning in a Dutch newspaper by a safe house. Like we built houses to withstand rain and wind, but they're not very excited to look at. And someone described his football and his style exactly as that. Like, it'll work, won't bring you a cup tournament, won't bring you a final. People won't be warmed up seeing your team play, but they'll show up because most of the matches you'll win.
Well, possibly ask the Everton fans about that. He used to be the Everton manager, and I believe Southampton as well, if I'm right.
Yeah,
well, start the football absolutely glowing. So I'm sure they would agree with the safe house.
Yeah, so he's at Feyenoord as well as a manager, and Ajax and PSV, I think, as well. And you think when you're in a team and you are in a bad spot, right? Koeman he started at the Dutch squad when we didn't qualify, for example. He can bring in players that are motivated. He can bring in structure that are good to get you into certain aspects. But he won't ever get the maximum out of the players, I think, because he's too safe for that. And I think the biggest result, I didn't get the time to speak about yesterday because I was so emotional. And to be fair, I just completely fell apart after 48 hours of non-sleep. So thanks, Shaq and Daniel and Nate to fix that one. But the thing is, he just went back to a safe 5-3-2 or 5-2-3. It didn't work. And I mean, I applaud him for trying that, right? You can do that. But it didn't work. But afterwards, he said, I would do this 100 out of 100 attempts again if I would try it. I think not owning your mistakes is the biggest mistake here. So, time for a new era. Could be cool if we get Arne Slot as a Dutch manager and we get Jurgen Klopp as a Germany manager, though. Because they face each other then in the first match of the Nation League Club. That would be nice.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, definitely, yeah. And it's crazy how like everything you're telling me about Koeman's how dull he is. But as a player, you know, he was a very, very bold defender. You know, I remember that goal for Barcelona in the Champions League final. He scored a lot of good free kicks, a lot of bold free kicks. So it's disappointing that he doesn't coach that way.
Nope, definitely true. Check out some YouTube videos on him because he was a terrific player. Talk about terrific. James, you have been absolutely terrific today. And if you're listening to this, you have been absolutely terrific for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, we are fighting against Zlatan Ibrahimovic doing shows. So all the people that listen to the show, just know we do it for you. It is so much appreciated. Thank you so much. But we'll be back tomorrow. See ya. Bye.